of Laz as well. I feel like the star player of that team. What do you make of the Chamber? Because I feel like ever since he brought it back and had a lot of success with it, a lot of other people have followed suit.
They sure have, and I think that we had an inkling that Chamber might be coming back. And you know, obviously the teams that were doing well this year didn't have as much incentive to experiment with Chamber. But you see a team like Zeta who missed out on Masters. They're looking for what can we add? What can we give ourselves to give us that edge over these other teams? And Laz has really cemented himself as, you know, dangerous on this Chamber agent. And I would be paranoid about contacting corners with this guy in the server right now.
One of the reasons I think Zeta had the fall off that they did was because of the meta shift. They were great under Chamber meta when Laz was harvesting in every tournament he was playing. And it's been a long time since he's been able to play that agent. He was stuck in the Killjoy Cypher jail that so many other players had to transition over to. But now he's back in his comfort, calling for this team, and they look back in form.
Yeah, and is that, you feel like, the correct approach as well to stick with that Chamber against Fnatic today?
I would lean into it for sure. I think that they need something that's going to give them some bite against Fnatic. Fnatic are coming in as the clear favorites. You know, they know what they're doing. They've got their chemistry down. They've got their playbook down. You know, they're ready to go. Zeta are the ones who have the onus on them to take control and actually bring home this win. So I would lean into the Chamber and anything else that they think they have up their sleeve to take these guys out early and make a statement early in the tournament that we are here to play and we're contenders.
I mean, we've seen one upset already today. Who knows? Who knows? And speaking of Laz, Doug caught up with him outside.
Laz, quick question for you. You're back on the international stage. How do you feel individually heading into the tournament?
世界大会に戻ってきて、今のチームのコンディションはいかがですか？
コンディションはいいですね。で、このインターナショナルの舞台に勝ってこれたことをすごく嬉しく思ってます。試合が楽しみです。
We're just very happy to be back on this international stage, and our conditions are very good. So very excited for the match.
ありがとうございます。Thank you.
I think this is the theme, right, Zeta? They're just happy to make another international tournament, but their opponent, the expectations is completely different. Because Mimi, some have even said if Fnatic don't get the triple, the 3 for 3, then it is not an era. The dynasty doesn't count.
I think it's fair to say that we're at the beginning of an era. It's dawning right now. If they win champions, no one can dispute the fact that this is Fnatic's era. No one's ever won back-to-back before, and winning the three-peat, making that run continue at champions would be such a moment for this Fnatic team that has been working so hard for a trophy to establish an era like this since the very beginning of Valorant.
Absolutely, and as someone who's coached the team, you know, I know what it's like when you set out at the beginning of the year, you put your roster together, all sights are on champions. Masters, you know, winning VCT, winning Master, these are steps along the way to get you that experience and to give you that confidence to go into champions and bring it home. So this is where it all ends. This is what everything leads to. You know, there's always going to be those doubts if they don't take this tournament home. But I think that they have the firepower, they have the chemistry, they have the playbook. They can really cement themselves and say that this year is the Fnatic year.
And every tournament you win, every moment you spend on top, it gets harder and harder to maintain that position. We've heard from so many different teams who have won tournaments how hard it is to repeat because everyone looks at you, everyone is studying you, stealing your ideas, and you're forced to really adapt, reinvent yourself, show something new in every tournament to be able to stay on top. It's such a difficult task, but Fnatic has already done it once.
Yeah, they became kind of the record breakers, right? The history makers. We've heard from Laz on the side of Zeta, but let's hear from Durka from Fnatic. Over to you, Doug.
Durka, if I may, a very quick question for you, sir. Given that
New Jeans Super Shy.
Thanks, Durka, for giving me the opportunity to bust out a choreo on the desk. I've always wanted to do it, but that was a New Jeans Super Shy. What a giga chat, and I feel like there's a theme, right? Psycho with this team. Every single player seems to have a bit of a giga chat or cold moment in them.
Oh, they absolutely do, and I think that's the scariest thing about going up against this team. There's no clear, defined start. This is a true super team. Every player on this roster is one of the best in their roles, and anybody at any given time can take over the game.
It's insane. And they haven't even changed a comp yet this year, right? This is a team who we're always talking about them pulling out new stuff, changing up their style throughout, but they haven't even had to adjust their compositions in a big way. That's just how good they are at perfecting the little details. And honestly, when you're on top like that, you have moments to have fun and have that swagger.
Yeah, I mean, same comment, also no Pearl either. Here we have a tweet from Boaster who tweeted, if anyone finds the ability to go back 2 years in time, then feel free to anti-strap me. And Psycho Nico, I saw you reply to this tweet because if you guys zoom in on this tweet at home, at some point you'll see that some of those strats that he's talking about came from your team back in the days.
That's right. I mean, we went up against Fnatic at Champions last year in the playoffs, and we're able to take them out. So, you know, I think definitely Boaster pulled a couple plays that he liked from what we ran against him and added it to his playbook. And hey, that's what teams do, right? And you usually name the team or name the play after the team you stole it for as like a sort of homage, right, to them. So, you know, Energy runs this play against you. You know, you really like it. You add it to your playbook, and you're like, okay, guys, we're going to run the Energy this round.
I guess my follow-up to that would be, how deep do you think Fnatic's strat book really is? Because like Mimi said, they haven't changed any comps. So at what point do you feel like they're going to run dry and teams are starting to be able to anti-strat them a bit better?
Well, I think they're just so far ahead. I mean, we've seen this year how dominant teams are who have managed to keep a core together. It's something that's been talked about a lot this year. You know, the teams that have been able to keep 3 or 4 players and just make minor adjustments and keep their IGL and keep their playbook, keep their coach, you know, these teams are dominating, and they are so far ahead of these other teams that their playbook just continues to get deeper and deeper as these other teams struggle to try and catch up. And I think that's where they're at right now. We're about to see in this tournament, have other teams adapted enough? Have they learned quickly enough to catch up to where Fnatic is in their dominant position?
Yeah, and they've spent a lot of time building out this strat book and adapting. The first ever global tournament, Fnatic was there, 2nd place. They played a completely different style than what they're playing today. Sue, I'm sure you can speak to this, but Boaster, as the IGL of this team, has been through it all in adding new ideas, in adapting, and putting in that effort, that work to make it to the position he and his team are now, and to the position on top with really being the team defining the strategy for so many teams in Valorant.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they're going to bring out today. And with that in mind, let's take a look at the map selection and see where we're going to be headed today.
All right, let's get started. Congrats to both of you for champs, another event for the 2 of you. Let's jump in. Fnatic, you are the higher seed. Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So Zeta, you will be Team A, and we'll start with your first ban.
Team A. Bind.
Bind. Your ban.
Pearl.
Pearl. Map number 1, your pick.
Pick Fracture.
Pick Fracture. Side on Fracture.
What do you want? I think attack. We'll go attack.
Attack. Okay. Map number 2.
Haven.
Haven. Side on Haven.
Defender.
Defense. Okay. We're going to go the next set of bans, starting with Zeta. You have Ascent, Lotus, and Pearl.
アセントかロータスかアセントロータス
Sorry, Split.
アセントロータス
Ascent, Lotus, and Split. Yeah.
Ban Ascent.
They ban Ascent. You have Lotus and Split.
Ban Split.
Ban Split. So map number 3 will be Lotus. Side on Lotus.
Attack.
Attack. Okay, I'm going to run through this, make sure we are all set. First set of bans, we have Zeta with Bind, Fnatic with Pearl. Map number 1 is Fracture with Fnatic on attack. Map number 2 is Haven with Zeta on defense. Next set of bans are Ascent and Split. Map number 3, Decider, is Lotus with Zeta on attack. Good. All right, good luck to you both.
Good luck. Good luck.
Zeta Division. Fnatic.
Zeta, they missed out on Tokyo, but what a statement it would be to take down the team that lifted a trophy in their home country right here, right now. We've seen an upset already today, Mimi. I don't think it would be, it's not going to be impossible, let's put it that way, for Zeta to take them down.
It's not impossible because we've seen it before. More than a year ago, Zeta took the stage in Reykjavik against Fnatic. They beat them there, went on a run to go top 3, had the breakout performance for Japan at an international event, and they've been trying to recoup that same kind of run ever since. Now they have a chance here to get revenge on Fnatic for not only lifting that trophy, but also to repeat history.
Yeah, and let's talk about the map vetoes real quick, because Fracture, Haven, Lotus. If you're a Fnatic fan, Psycho, looking at that, you got to be feeling pretty comfortable and happy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Fnatic definitely have a map pool, and it's essentially these maps. I mean, I'm sure going into this, Zeta must be confident on these maps to pick them into Fnatic, and they must have some sort of game plan cooked up.
I think they only had to show 4 maps at Tokyo for Fnatic. They were dominant in that event. And now the question is, has Fnatic reinvented themselves at all? Have they changed any compositions with that time since Tokyo? Because constantly having new things, surprising teams, can be the key to staying on top when you already are that team everyone's watching.
Let's not forget, in Tokyo, they were losing to EG on this map, Psycho. That was one of the places where Fnatic just couldn't find an answer for. So we would like to think that they might have changed something between Tokyo and here.
Absolutely. I mean, they've had some time. You know, they're definitely at home scrimming these other teams, getting prepared for this. They come to Champions, they're scrimming these teams in LA, getting ready. I'm sure they have something cooked up, and they know that this is their moment. If they want to take this championship home and take home the three-peat, they need to set this tone right now.
Well, if you take a look at the Prime Gaming Agent Select, if you can't beat them, Mimi, why not join them? It is the Sova coming in.
And we have not seen Leo on Sova in so long. It was always his best agent. He's excellent here, and taking a page out of EG's book, I love it. Fnatic is the team who I think really started the trend, who EG was influenced by in putting an emphasis on farming your ultimate orbs and always having an idea of how to combo ultimates, and now taking some of that back from EG, who had initially drawn inspiration from them. It's kind of cool to see it go full circle for Fnatic.
Absolutely, and not every team has been able to pull off the Sova. I mean, we've seen teams try and fail, but Fnatic are definitely the team to do it. Leo is just absolutely incredible on this. As you said, they kind of crafted this initial idea, and I'm excited to see what else they've cooked up and added to this, because we talked about earlier adding layers to their existing playbook. How deep does this go? What new things are we going to see with this Sova?
On the side of Zeta, they're going back to this double duelist comp with the Chamber. This is the new version of Zeta. This isn't that squad that was slow on every single attack that we saw way back when they were at global events. We'll have to see if it's enough for Zeta to find an upset again.
Well, it's the first time this year Fnatic has changed their comp. Valorant fans, get ready to be entertained, because we have 2 of the best in the business with us to take you through this series. Give it up to Dog and Bala.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. Bala, there is something in the air today, and you can't help but feel like it's really throughout the entire tournament. We just came off of a crazy upset. I mean, this would shatter expectations, though.
You're suggesting a lot, right? This is the best team in the world, hands down. Yeah. So I am very much looking forward to see what kind of shape Zeta can show on a stage, which they haven't graced our presence with for so long. It's been a long time since lock-in. It's been a long time since that miracle run, way back when they beat Fnatic back at Reykjavik in 2022.
While also winning over the hearts of literally everyone. And that's why, you know, there are so many people that are excited to see them back on the stage. But this is quite the foe you're facing against first. And Depp is already, oh my. Well, it certainly could have been more troublesome. It could have been a lot more damage than it was.
That could have been horrible.
Yep.
But instead, Depp gets such a deep position, and he clears the south side almost entirely. So right now, they have a great idea of what's going on. And I'm surprised to not see anybody from Zeta moving right now. They should have known it was A side a long time ago there.
They are a bit more cautious and a bit more concerned with this, aren't they? Chronicle's getting the spike down. You see Fnatic still have some control, some positioning over towards Dish. Courtesy of Durka, they have a really good setup here.
Despite the long rotate and the very late one, they get some really good post-plant positions to actually retake here from. So both sides entrenched at this point.
Boaster's going to have to be one of the first to be dealt with, and yeah, they don't even check him. He was still down under hell, and I mean, Fnatic have just wiped the floor with Zeta in this round.
You really expected a little bit more there from Zeta after all the time that they took to set up in that. But it's 2 corners they don't check, just 2 corners. And despite maybe a good like opening strategy, they would have potentially just found Alfier by himself when Depp dove past him in that one.
Yeah.
Despite all that, nothing for them. So that speaks to potentially what we might see here. Some nerves, some discipline not checked up right now, and what the Des was talking about a lot, how slow Zeta play.
I have the spike.
It's completely flipped on its head in the first round.
Marshall in the hands of Boaster, and he's already finding value with it.
I mean, this is a classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every single round on Fracture. Attack side after the pistol round win, which comes quite frequently for this team. Boaster with that Marshall farming as many orbs as he can.
Hey, he's already gotten a considerable amount. He's already more than halfway. Boaster get the ace, baby. The crowd's gonna go wild. Oh no!
I mean, 2 aces in the anti-eco would have been crazy today.
Yeah, that would have been nuts. I mean, he gave it a run, and he was close. Just not able to connect, though. Ultimately, Fnatic walk away with the win on the round. They keep 3 rifles. Boaster's very close to having his orbital strike online. It wasn't as flashy as we would have liked, but it got the job done.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, considering how the rest of the round played out, Boaster was just holding for these. I mean, I was talking about how he usually farms orbs, but instead he's holding for the kills. Alfier was the guy holding the orbs. Is that Boaster or is that Kong Kong? I can't tell.
He looked the same, didn't he?
Now this swap for Fnatic off of the fade onto the Sova is going to be really interesting to see in these next couple of attempts. They had so many opportunities to face off against this composition that they know how you can counter it. But such a wild comp from Zeta. Almost nobody playing this Paper X EDG style comp. One thing that I've noticed Fnatic being so good at on all maps is moments like these where, you know, you're in the bonus round, you're trying to get some information. They're so good at freezing and just allowing some time to elapse so that they can let their thoughts actually settle here. And it always allows them to have such good calls after this. One of the reasons why Boaster has really stepped up in terms of reputation for his IGLing ability this year.
We'll see if he's able to do anything with what you were just referring to, trying to be able to settle on the round, get any information that he can, and then work around it. Laz looks to be the first to contact here. Fnatic want to burst towards B. Remember, we don't see Chamber very much, and we're not going to see him anymore this round either.
And Chronicle taking that first contact too. Just ridiculous.
30 seconds left.
There were so many people that were excited for this Chamber pick, for Laz on that Chamber pick in particular. But a brutal start. Meanwhile, Fnatic going to continue to pounce forward and trample. Boaster falls, though. Yeah. There are a lot of guns on the other side of this, so Durka with 2 big ones.
They can't get to this yet. Alfier has to be the guy to deny Depp. He has to go through.
Quick. He's got to be quick. It's gotten to half. That's a bonus for Fnatic. Huge play from Alfier.
The other 2 players there, Leo and Chronicle, were both either a body way in front of them, controlling their space, or just completely mollied off, so they couldn't do anything either. But bonus conversion, this is the scary part about Fnatic, man. You let them get started, and it takes so long to chip back at that lead. Thankfully here, Zeta, Depp with the amount of flanking he's been doing, does have his overdrive online, so they can go for something crazy. And looks like they're setting up for a dish push. But look, Durka and Leo are going to use some of their util here to actually just completely deny this.
And Depp does not seem to care, but Durka and Leo both handle it well. A little bit of damage done as 10 was there too. The orbital strike used, but Chronicle receiving the pressure on the other side.
A very risky peek there as well from Chronicle on the last player of 10. Oh, Alfier is in their spawn. Should have heard them there.
Spike planted.
And now with the plant, it's wide open as well for Alfir, no matter what.
He was out of range of the turret. So that did not get him any info. 10 has crept his way up, and the only question is Chronicle aware? Does he know?
Oh, the jiggle peek just missed him.
Just barely. I mean, we're talking about seconds, but Alfir swings out at just the right time to get Fnatic 4.
Now that crossfire ends up being pretty brutal there for Chronicle and Alfir. And I love Alfir missed the jiggle, sure, but then he gets into an off angle to get the next peek on it. So his timing works out really nicely no matter what. And check this out from Boaster as well, ulting off this push from Arcade so that this isn't a pinch coming in from Zeta. Really nice adaptations there on the fly to deal with that aggression, but maybe a little bit readable there from Zeta, given how Depp has been playing so far, how he's been constantly going for flanks, and how that was the only tool in that round.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Because of the success Fnatic have had, they find themselves up 4 with 3 ults in this round. Leo halfway to his, too.
Yeah, but some control here. Are they really just reacting into A after all that?
And Laz is by himself, but he is playing from a safe position. He can get away.
As the op 2.
Just a second late, man.
You were talking about expectations from Laz on the chamber. And I was waiting for the op to come online.
Uh-oh. Showstopper's out. 10 finds nothing, but it's Durka who gets the kill. They've got the Rolling Thunder, too. They have everything.
And if they needed to, Alfir's lockdown. No response from Sugar Zero on that Brimstone. Doesn't have the ult to cancel that out. They're falling way back, though. Look, there's 3 players at the back of halls. Once they open this door, they're going to be surprised to see it's Alfir there. They're like, okay, that's normal. There's going to be a crossfire at the top, but there's 3 players waiting there.
Yeah, there's no way you expect that much. So you've got to deal with what's in front of you. That's Durka, and then you have to deal with the flank from behind. Alfir gets another. You see the molly coming through from Boaster, who was one of the members off site, and they're just going to go hunting. 2 members here in spawn. They're trying to get the op out of the hands of Zeta, and they do.
Wow. Fnatic checking all the boxes right now. And Zeta, unfortunately, at this point, you really need to start looking to get that op back online for Laz. And you need to start some, I mean, nice dodge there from Durka. It's funny, we were talking a lot about Leo not playing any Sova. Up to this point, finally, since Tokyo. But Durka's still not playing any Jet. And you can see, I mean, he's just so comfortable on that Raze. One of the rare duelist players who can play both the Jet and the Raze.
That's such a high level, man. Such a high level. You think about their Tokyo run, never touched Jet. Starts off champs, doesn't touch Jet yet. And if he's going to keep putting up performances like this, there's really no reason to deviate from the plan.
Yeah, he's been teasing a lot. And no matter how this map goes, I'm assuming we're going to see it on Haven as map 2.
Yeah.
But right now, Zeta, their first time out, and they've got to come up with solutions. The thing is, they've been so aggressive on actually trying to set up these plays up in halls, A main. That's been the majority of the gun rounds so far. But Fnatic are so comfortable to just wait it out, figure out where that setup is, whether it's implicit information that they're getting from the rest of the map, or that they're seeing it head on, like that north side pinch that we saw. And it's not even gambles that Fnatic are taking against it. It's super, super safe. Look, never a single player on one half of the map.
And the half that you're mentioning right now, the northern side completely empty, and you see Zeta set up on the mini-map, either expecting pressure from the side, from that side towards Dish, or wanting to apply a bit of their own. But nothing found.
It's so fluid there. Durka's Boombot is intended to spot, okay, is there anybody pushing tree? And if there is, they're going to go for a crazy fast trap with Chronicle stun. Now this allows them to slow things down, really re-clear everything you can, get the space potentially for Alfir's ults, but on an anti-eco, yeah, he's going to invest it anyways. And you notice the thing that they did in the last post plant, right? They were all 3 holding the molly. Here there's, again, a lot of emphasis on holding this lockdown. Only one player getting on site here, Durka with the dash.
Boaster's here by himself, and you've got Leo close by, but not again. Once again, just one. There's a second layer to this, though. You think you've dealt with the first trap, sure, but there's another. This one's Leo. The stun, and you imagine the push is going to be coming anytime soon. Depp trying to find some space, and he's certainly not quiet about it. He was ready for it this time. At least wise to it, but kill's still not going his way.
Nice. Good from Durka. Here's any movement there. Already sees that smoke, knows he's going to try to creep into it.
Last left alone. It's just a tap, it's just a threat, and it's another round for Fnatic. Balla, you know, we talked so much about their run at Tokyo and how it really felt like they were playing perfect Valorant, or as close to it as you could get.
Oh,
I know it's only been 6 rounds, but this doesn't feel any different.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think for me though, I'm looking at the side of Zeta and I'm thinking out of that timeout, you know, what are they talking about? What do we see evidence of them talking about? I think they focus a little bit more on the strategic side there and not on calming people down. Because once again, we see a corner go unchecked.
Yep. Is that 3 now?
That's 3.
Yeah.
Against Fnatic, those are the types of mistakes they're going to punish you every time on.
The lights shine just a little bit brighter on the world's biggest stage. And with that comes the exposing of mistakes, of critical lapses of judgment.
Wow, this execute is so brutal.
That's another kill. I mean, it's an opener for Boaster. Depp's able to buy a little bit of time, but not much. Not enough for it to be significant.
He had no space there to play. There was a molly, there was a fault line coming through, there was another dart as well from Leo. I mean, this is why this composition is so strong. And they're not even punishing.
Well, no.
Molly might get him.
Yeah.
Oh, Spike's not planted.
Yeah, he hadn't committed. He wasn't really able to get enough breathing room. And the barrage of utility keeps him back. But Fnatic, as is typical, slow things down.
And this is with 50 seconds. Normally not executing this early. So still a lot of room for them to work.
Yeah, you can wait for Leo's dart to come back up, which just popped. You've got Chronicles' fault line that's going to come up shortly as well, right on cue. And with that, you imagine they combine them, they find a little bit of space to at least recover the spike. Not able to get a kill off of it, though.
There's no more util here to actually deny this plant anymore from Zeta.
They've weathered some of the early aggression from the defense, but can they do more? See that aftershock through. Chronicle has fallen. It's just Alphair and Leo now. 1 nano to buy some space, to buy some time, to provide some cover as Orbital Strike segments him off even more. An aggressive satchel in from 10 as Crow gets 2 and the defuse comes through.
Really nice stuff. That's that patience that is so synonymous with Zeta. When they really recoup, when they really understand, okay, here's the couple of extra tools we have, the Aftershock and that Orbital Strike. I misspoke. I thought they used their Aftershock at this point already. And with that Aftershock getting the kill on the planter, that's how he has that Orbital Strike. So it's like all the win conditions there, they put them in their mind and they completely executed on them. Well done from Zeta. That finally gets them on the board. I'm wondering now if we're going to see sort of the same resurgence that we saw from a team like we just saw in that first game where it looked super flat from Billy. And then all of a sudden they came out swinging. All of a sudden they got energy.
Yeah, they did. Zeta finally on the board, though.
Laz was talking a lot about that. About what they learned from their LCQ run was, and watching Tokyo in person, was seeing, you know, players like Kankan, players like Boostio show and leave the emotion on the stage rather than reserving it back. Are they going to be able to find that momentum to bring that emotion out?
You've got Crow's got his Rolling Thunder. He's close by. But again, this quiet approach from Fnatic early on. I mean, it's a stalemate. No one daring make a sound. You imagine if there's attack from the drone, Durka's going to want to go.
Look at this path.
Showstopper.
Oh, kind of messed up the second satchel there.
It did not give him enough go.
He's not clearing his corners.
That's a cleared corner. Or the lack thereof. Yep, Depp cleans him up.
And missed Aftershock Molly combo too.
Spike still committed though. The Rolling Thunder goes just a bit wide as 10. And Crow go untouched. Alpha looking to pounce in tower. No, he can't.
Watching here.
It's just Leo by himself now, and he's just got to sit back and watch. I mean, a 1v4, a couple members weak, but there's just not enough for that.
2 rounds now in a row for Zeta. And that perfect Valorant from Fnatic starts to show some cracks. A missed combination up in tower allows space for Depp to play a little bit longer. And then And once again, this A hit, or this B hit, not quite working out there.
Wow.
And breach ult as well coming in. Yeah, it definitely missed that second satchel there from Durka.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what happened. It looked like it just disappeared. Either way, he would have gotten such a deep path.
Revealing area. Right.
Dart cleared instantly towards halls. No early aggression from Zeta. I think we saw that a couple of times before the timeout, but that's something they have moved away from here.
And they are doing a great job dealing with the Sova from Leo. I mean, in that last round, the drone was supposed to get a little extra value. Here, the dart, I mean, always there's an early dart spent by Leo somewhere on the map. I do have to say, I think Fnatic is playing this attack side a lot differently than you would see from a team like EG, where a lot more of these arcade pushes are coming in frequently.
Laz has the op. He's going to be able to get away. Do they pursue, though? No, it seems like they're far more interested in getting on the site, making sure it's clear. You see that dart out from Leo, but Laz getting one. Deb trying to hold him things up from up top, and he does. Chronicle has fallen. The spike is currently sitting on the ground, but there is room for it. Boaster has a chance to make a massive play here. If he can find the right timing and create enough space.
Oh, these stuns are brutal for Alfir.
It's impossible to get through. Oh, there's Boaster, but he gets caught. This is another round going in favor of Zeta.
Absolutely, and a shocking commitment from Fnatic on this B hit. This is now 3 rounds in a row that is getting shut down from Zeta. And you're also seeing, as Alfir on the last couple seconds of this round, not going to be able to find that spike and plant it, and you can already see 10 so far away. Yeah. The commitment here from the game plan for Fnatic is to get on the site without using your key power ults and post plants, so you could use them later on.
Sure. Well, that is damage dealt, but Zeta's money should be okay.
That's definitely some value there. Nice pick from Laz again. That's been slow. I was waiting to see whether we were going to get this timeout from Fnatic, and it is coming out. And this is where I think you need to start addressing this, because so often these executes are missing a little bit of a gap or something here. In these last 3 rounds, there's been 3 instances of that. And that's purely because they're not really committing these ults. You've had the Sova Hunter's Fury for quite a while. Boaster, his Brim ult has been back in that last round. Chronicle's ult is up now as well. I'd much rather see, as we see a little streak here from Zeta, a shutdown of any sort of these early holds.
Yeah, just something to break the momentum, sure.
It feels like they're in a space of comfortability. And I also think that Fnatic are thinking Zeta's going to adapt so hard away from, away from tower when we have the Brim ult, when there's a Sova ult, like, you're really focusing on making sure you don't get drone tagged, all that stuff. But Zeta's really not caring too much. They're playing up in tower. They're not worried at all about it. They're not adapting to what is in the hands of Fnatic, and I think that's causing some, mismatch in how Boaster's ideas are working in the server.
Well, maybe the brief conversation with Mini will be enough to, again, break this trend. You see it on the timeline 3 rounds in a row after what was truthfully a dreadful start for Zeta, but they have found some semblance of footing, and they've kept this thing competitive for now. 3 ults on Fnatic's side, and they're key ones at that. We'll see if they invest them here. Heavy bunch towards B, and it's going to be going into Laz, who still has the op. No challenge yet. Surely he hears that room, but though waits for it to go and then re-peeks. There are so many layers to this from Fnatic, though, man. You've got to get past the room, but you've got to get past the drone.
I mean, I kind of love what Fnatic have done now that I've seen the plan a couple times here against Laz. It's so often that he has to spend so much to deal with the drone, to deal with Leo.
Yeah.
It's neutering him. Comparatively to what was happening in LCQ, he was a beast on the chamber.
They've just gotten onto the site. I mean, I don't want to say for free because they did invest a lockdown and created some space.
Oh,
Laz is
no.
detained and he's cooked.
Wow.
Oh, what a brutal way to go. They invest the Hunter's Fury too. Crow falls. Depp also takes damage.
I'm curious how they knew he was there. They saw the detain. Must have heard him right before.
Just enough. Durka playing in the smoke. Zeta trying to claw their way back into this round with the 3 guns that remain. And ult 2 in the hands of 10, but Can't imagine it's going to be invested here. They have so many layers to this, as we talked about previously, man. Like, it's going to take some massive heroics. And Depp with 20 HP and time just not on his side has to get out.
And there's what I was talking about, though. 3 investments of the ult. Yes, some of them were after the plant had already gone down, but specifically Alfir's lockdown just gets them on that B site. And I think that's a great call again. Remember, I just mentioned how Zeta was not trying to counter what ults. Oh, he was shooting his head under right before. Did he forget about the lockdown?
Could have.
Yeah, that one hurts. And the fact that you got another kill out of this as well is just ridiculous. I mean, that's a setup already where you have the lockdown and then you have the Brim ult. We've seen it so many times. Fnatic has pioneered this where you just instantly Brim ult the space that you don't have with that lockdown.
It's interesting, too. Here, it seemed like Fnatic were ahead of what Zeta was going to try to do. They repositioned Laz with the op, and they guessed correctly.
And as well, getting through halls here. I'm guessing that dart was finally not broken by Leo, and they instantly go into this. But it is surprising to see that in combination with what you just said, them pushing back the chamber on drop already.
Early Rolling Thunder.
Oh,
it seems like, I thought they were going to try to pinch, but Laz just plucks him out of the sky, and he finds a second. That op was quiet for a while, but comes back to life at just the right time.
I'm looking for where the third smoke from Fnatic was, because that's an angle you've got to be worried about. Laz with 3 from it.
10 feeling some of the pressure and having to reposition. The spike is out of reach here. I don't know that Fnatic can recover this.
I mean, you'd have to jump up, drop. Yes, it is Leo. Yes, it is Chronicle. Those 2 players, no matter what happens, you think they have a chance, but this looks very unwinnable, and they won't go for it either. Leo's not even opening the door, not prodding, nothing like that. They're just going to save the weapons for the final round of the half. And they are kind of low money. You have to see Durka load, Boaster, Alfir with the only 1.8 that you'd get.
10 seconds left.
It would have been rough.
You gonna clear this box?
Bit of spam?
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. 4 for Laz, and you know, as we were talking about the financial implications, that rifle going down.
That was the least important rifle out of the 2.
Sure.
Leo had 3.4K, so he could drop one now, where Chronicle wasn't going to be able to drop anyways. But yeah, you're right. I mean, any sort of economical value you get when it's such a, I mean, at the end of this, it could be a close half here. Could end up with a 7-5. Absolutely, you look to moments like that.
Yeah, unexpected too, given how the half started.
And Zeta's gotten Fnatic in a spot where there's no ults online right now. For Fnatic, and you can tell how much they rely on those so frequently.
On the other side of things, Laz is the only one who's close to his. Depp has his online. But again, patience from both sides. Such a delicate game they play.
I think Fnatic actually confused about how to approach the situation, given that 10 was in halls at the beginning, given that they did break that dart. Oh my goodness, the timing.
This is bold too. He hasn't shown here.
Did he just spot him?
That ping looked real.
That was Alfir pinging that too.
Yeah.
Oh.
What a pen. And the op is this one has been fired, so they know where he is. Do they push into him or do they rotate away?
Oh,
they want to go.
Dart combo with the stun too. They got both players on site right now with that. They're going to flood those Zeta. Have to be careful.
Yeah, I don't know that they're ready for, I don't know that they want to flood at this point. Fnatic haven't fully pushed out for them to take this fight. Now Fnatic pounce ahead of what Zeta's trying to do. The defenses from, they're left in shambles. There's nothing left. They just crumble.
Beautiful stuff from Fnatic there. The freeze again. You know, they went outdoor for about 20 seconds before really committing to hitting that site, and the combinations of Yuto were just really nice. Durka as well getting his ult online. For sure was going to get another one if Alfir didn't pop it. Tap right there in that moment. It's just so nice from this team.
Eight-4 half in favor of Fnatic. We're going to throw it down to the desk for them to break down that first half.
Thank you very much, you guys. Now, Laz, he really came alive towards the end there, but I really want to quickly address a story that he was telling in the Daily Tease we saw this morning about Boaster, his opposite IGL on this match, because Laz said here that he was a little bit desperate and texted Boaster to ask him specifically about some advice on being an IGL. To my surprise, he answered my questions very kindly. I told him, I hold him even in great respect. And Psycho, what a great story this is for them to be able to go up against each other. But you can also see the impact maybe Laz has learned from Boaster and speaking to him about how to IGL.
Absolutely. I mean, what a special moment between these guys. I mean, you know, when you're young, up and coming, even just where's Laz is with Zeta now, you know, like you're trying to claw your way up the global events and improve your placements. And you reach out to somebody like Boaster, who is just larger than life for you, and he actually responds and gives you advice, right? So this is someone who not only he's spoken to and gotten advice from, but someone he's studied constantly, obviously draws a lot of inspiration from, and that should make it a lot easier as an IGL to call against him.
And then playing against someone who is an inspiration, is an idol to you, also has another element of that. And I think we've seen a lot of the back and forth of the calling from these IGLs thus far. I thought Zeta initially had good adaptations to start to play a lot of those flood retakes on B, but Fnatic turned around and did a great job of actually punishing Laz there. They put a lot of util into making him feel uncomfortable anchoring on this site. We've seen this go back and forth, but Fnatic, no surprises, up at this half, 8-4, and now they go into the second half defense, where this Sova comp is so good to allow you to push forward, take extremity control. So Zeta's going to have to be really careful about how they're holding onto the map control.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Let's get the second half underway. Back to our casters, Doug and Bob.
Thank you so much, Insu. Yeah, an 8-4 half in favor of Fnatic. It was dominant at the beginning, and Zeta started to show signs of life. I think as we prepare for what's ahead of us here, Zeta on attack, they tend to go slow.
Look at this push here against Laz right now. The stun, and that's a long-range Sheriff wallbang. Off of the turret contact, and Zeta's going to try to flood back into this, but you've got Leo inside of sight.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how fast you're going to go. If you're deaf, you're not going to be able to get past him, at least initially. But the second punch of Sugar Zero was enough to clear things out. Numbers in favor of Fnatic, albeit slight, but still there. Woo! Oh, that was well handled. There's 1 HP on the man. 1! That's all it takes for him to go down. But once again, these kills going back and forth. Chronicle.
He dinked him.
Yeah, he did. He cleans him up. Clean 2K from Chronicle to get Fnatic the round.
He got a collat. Double headshot there. Dinked him through his teammate. What is that?
Not your day.
And Fnatic, I mean, in full control again. When you thought, okay, Sugar Zero coming back through halls, he gets that kill. Alfear's instantly back in the space that they were already controlling. And that was the one thing Zeta needed to do. Once they got that plan off, they needed to regain control of that.
And that is a brutal start for Laz to go down that way.
Yeah, they've been, I mean, doing a great job.
One enemy remains.
Unlucky 10.
Unlucky indeed.
Losing the pistol now. That was going to make things incredibly difficult to come back from.
Scanning ahead.
This is a dart for potentially Boaster to find something. Maybe an extra push. Maybe the just getting the orb is enough there.
We'll see if we see that one again, because he got pushed off that angle instantly.
Oh yeah, you already had the, must have been a stun or something like that from Dev. So. Maybe just some noise for him to back off of.
Or the fault line from Crow. Yeah, there was something that pushed him off the angle for sure. So Zeta get what they want. They keep Boaster back. They get the orb. And it seems like they're going to go hunting for a little bit more.
Just farm up in this case.
Yeah.
Would not be too mad to see this. Although, if they do go for something like that and they continue to explore the map, they're missing an opportunity right now. What we can see, what they can't, is Alfear alone on this B site, and he doesn't really have a denial setup, so they could get the plant down and make this really interesting.
Boaster's close by. He still has 2 smokes, and they're going to push him to spawn. Yeah, I mean, I guess take the fight and see what happens. Lay things out how they may. And it's gone 2 for 2, but Alfear tipping things back in Fnatic's favor.
Enemy remaining.
And he might put the round away by himself. Laz left alone. A 1v3 very quickly turns back, but it does not turn back far enough as Fnatic get another.
Have a good eco there from Zeta. I mean, despite things going pretty poor, I'd say, on that initial push through into their spawn, I mean, they're getting 1-for-1 trades. That could have worked out for something. but they lose the spike eventually. They don't really consider how many players are in spawn, and it could have just fallen flat there. They could have not gotten any more kills, and instead they get 3 guns down from Fnatic. And 2 stingers, so not the biggest deal. Fnatic's the masters of manipulating the economy in situations like this. Light armor all the way down, Bulldogs, Guardians, they could still get a full buy next round, so this bonus is very healthy.
I mean, look at that setup. Yeah, there's no one there, but that would have been a dreadful position to be standing in. You got the fault line you have to deal with, the satchel out from Durka, the dart over the top, and then the flash to clear the second corner.
I mean, now they can just play from the north side, yeah. This is beautiful. And Zeta have no clue that any of that happened as well, so.
That's a very good point.
As soon as you see something, Fnatic's going to be able to get a good read. I mean, it's not a complete information game from them, right? They still don't know which site they're going to hit. But you can focus much more on these individual chokes at the A side, and there's only one to get into on B.
Yeah, I think even then, you're right. You've eliminated half of the map at this point if you're Fnatic. Northern side, really not a concern. You just invest everything into the southern side, and they're going to find out very soon that it's going to have to be the A southern side if they want to establish some control. So that's exactly where Zeta are headed. You see a little bit of utility from Alfia early on, keeping it back. The orbital strike is early. Do they funnel behind it, or are they even going to be able to get through? Depth's already fallen.
Look at the options it allowed Alfia to play in from drop there, instead of actually staying on site. Avoids the orbital strike completely, and is he going to go down, Crow?
Ooh, that was close. He does eventually. It was a bit delayed, but he does fall.
Leo on the flank as well.
Trip though to cover, but given where he's standing right now, it's not going to matter. If he swings out, he's dead. Forget about the trip. He's got the sightline on him.
Enemy remaining.
But they've gotten it to this point. 10 with a massive 2K, and Leo's left alone. Nothing but a Bulldog. 2 shocks and a drone as he upgrades a weapon.
Yeah, he's out. That Molly's going to solidify things. Leo there was not the, the be-all, end-all. He was the guy who was going to allow them to entry into that site by pressuring those players in A main, allow them to cross, allow them to start defusing. And he comes a little slow. Enough where Boaster and the rest of Fnatic think they have to commit regardless of whether Leo's timing is good. So Zeta, good anti-bonus. They get a good eco and then a good anti-bonus. I mean, winning the round here is very nice. And Fnatic in that situation, you actually were looking to maybe save 2 guns. Instead, they only saved 1, so this isn't going to be a completely healthy buy here for them.
Let's take a look at that 2K from 10 once more on your screens as we head into the next round. The Death was talking about it previously before the map started. Excuse me. Zeta's attack side is slow historically relative to the field. They tend to play at a slower pace than everyone else. Now we're going to get to see that really play out. Now that they have full guns, now that it's closer to equal footing, although
You really, you've seen in the meta, trying to combo that breach ult with something else has been so key.
What's the combo?
There's nothing.
No, there's no combo with it at all, but they continue to go forward.
Another push into spawn gets denied.
Yeah, 10 falling there. It wasn't off of a fault line. He may have been hit by the Rolling Thunder. Either way, he's dead. Alfia are a little bit weak, but has that lockdown. As you see a punch coming in from the southern side too, and Laz is going to have to get all the kills he can while he can, because they're hot to drop behind him. Sugar Zero falling, Depp left alone. The spike was planted, but Fnatic have so much as far as numbers go, and then the nade at his feet. Way too many targets to deal with, none of them found. Durka with 3 and Fnatic with 11.
Fnatic was actually caught off guard there. Durka thought that nade was going to hold that smoke entirely, and he definitely could have got that spray down.
Yeah.
Where Chronicle would have been a couple seconds late to peek that.
I mean, he dealt damage on both. On both Durka and Boaster. Didn't get either, yeah.
But at this point, Doug, Zeta needed to start chipping into this before Fnatic started getting some of these power ults online. And at this point, that cycle is well in effect.
Yeah.
And you're in the range where they just need 2 more rounds.
Yeah. A valiant attempt there to close out the round, but just not enough. Zeta call a timeout. Down 5 to 11 in this opener in this best of 3. And Fnatic, they've you know, I really don't want to point to Fnatic on this because I think Zeta have done a couple of things very well, but over a long period of time, just had their number.
There's a Cypher Cam on stage. Where's the Cypher Cam at? Somebody take this thing down. I mean, I think it's been a major strategical difference here.
Yeah.
For sure. And this is where I think Fnatic has focused a lot on this year. We talk a lot about star power, about this being a super team, and don't get me wrong, those are very clear factors towards their success.
Yeah.
But I think overall the scene has worked towards a place where every team is pushing the strategy so deep, the tactics, specifically on a map like this where there's so, I mean, every single orb is accessible, and there's 4 of them. It makes this ult game so interesting. Fnatic is excelling at that. And on top of that as well, they're able to work without them. In this case, they're able to deal with the protocols from Zeta. Fast execute coming here. Insta-molly up towards tower. We've seen this so many times on the international stage. Just to get depth, a potential pick on Alfear.
But the alarm about Sarah, and Alfear's got past it. He's tucked behind the wall. He's on the other side of the brim smoke.
Dude, and he knows everything that's going on. This was a fake the entire time.
Yep.
And now they're pinching the 2 players that were actually sending the fake, and they're going to realize real quick what's going on with this plant going down. A good attempt here. But now you see desperation.
I mean, the cost of that fake was so great. They're going to get flawless. I'm really just hoping I don't jinx it at this point. Yeah, all good. Alfear gets 3, Fnatic and another. A Prime Gaming flawless comes through, and it was a cool idea on the other side of it. And you're seeing Zeta reach into their playbook a little bit, draw up something different. But another instance in which it feels like Fnatic is just 2 steps ahead, man.
And again, I talked a little bit about how Zeta's approach has been somewhat readable. I don't want to say the entire thing has been. I especially on that defense half, you saw a lot of Fnatic struggling with the way that they were playing given the situation. But here, right out of the timeout, going for a fake, it's not going to catch this team off guard.
No.
A team that checks, again, over and over. They're just like, okay, has this happened? No. All right, let's go for this. Right? The reads are kind of just ingrained within the strat book from Fnatic on the get-go.
Very calm 21-7 from Alfear, by the way, as his team finds himself 1 round away from taking a series lead. You see the trap. Laz is certainly dead.
I mean, again, that's such good prep from Fnatic.
There's more. Ooh. Durka. Second satchel connects, and Alfear pinches from the other side. I mean, they were done, unless Deb can pull off an insane, what's that, an ace just to keep the map alive?
Yeah, 1v5.
He's gotten 2.
And look, Fnatic slowed it down. They don't want to give it to him.
No, I wouldn't either.
I mean, just give it to him for content, no?
I don't think they want to have anything to do with it. Not going to happen. 13-5 in favor of Fnatic, and I mean, really as much as you could possibly ask for. What an opener for a team that's currently pushing to win the Triple Crown for the first time in Valorant history. To look that clean at the beginning of a tournament. Boy, they just put the world on notice. If they weren't there already, that's a hell of a start.
That's a casual map 1 win here for their opener. And I think something that we've seen actually, oh my goodness, they almost fell off the stage. I think something we've seen from Fnatic is, you know, in Tokyo, they had an insta-berth to the playoffs. They had an insta way to fight for that crown. And now here, you know, they have to go through group stage. They have to deal with what everybody else has to deal with. You were kind of wondering, okay, is there, you know, are they going to experience the same thing? You know, the debuff that you have in some of these group stages from some of the best teams in the world.
Sure.
Not at all.
No, not even close. I mean, they showed no signs of being sluggish or anything like that. Boaster almost hits an ace in the 2nd round of the game. I mean, when that's when Fnatic is in their best form, is when they're fragging the way that they are, when they look as good individually, mechanically, from a strategical perspective as they do, and they're laughing about it. They're having fun with it.
Absolutely.
That's as bad as it gets.
Oh, and you know we're gonna have fun in the next map too.
Yeah.
Haven with Durka on Jet for the first time since lock-in.
Yeah.
Or you know, in the A split.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's the type of thing that I've been waiting for so long. So quite excited to see what comes up next.
It looked rough for Zeta, but maybe, somehow, even in the face of what you were just describing of Durka on Jet, maybe they managed to find their way through that. Maybe they find a way to get us to the third map. We'll find out on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I'm here with Coach Minnie, and I feel like we're always in this particular part of the conversation. Fnatic winning the first map, looking good as always. How do you keep the team from not getting ahead of themselves? Because everyone is anticipating Fnatic to be the heavy favorites in this event, and that certainly has to weigh on the boys.
Yeah, I think me and Boasters have a very modest kind of approach. Like, we've only been doing this for like 3 years now, like since the Valorant started, and we've kind of seen it over time that like those teams that get a bit too cocky, just falling. So I think that's good. Also, NRG losing 2-0 just before us and watching them lose was kind of like a nice little like, this is what can happen, boys, if we're like, you know, slip up a little bit. Nothing to NRG, I just mean like in terms of like the mentality, you know what I mean? So yeah, like every team here can beat you on their day, you know what I mean? So the prep for Fracture was good and it looked pretty good.
Oh yeah, indeed you most definitely did. Looking forward to see what you guys do at map 2. Always a pleasure, my brother. Back to you.
Yeah, the Fracture looked absolutely fantastic. I'm back here on the desk with Mimi and Psycho. From one coacher to another, what did you make of that answer?
I love that answer. I mean, just showing your guys, hey, look, this is what happens if we come in and we don't take this seriously. And I said it before the match, this is their opportunity to set the pace, the tone of this championship. If this is theirs to win, they need to show right now that we are here to mean business and we're going to get that business done.
And it's very clear that they are taking things seriously. They make their first comp change of the year heading into Fracture, and I think it looks really good. I think this Sova comp plays to Fnatic's style. They're really good at putting a fixation on harvesting up these ult orbs, maximizing when they have those big tools online, and winning rounds off of them, which is what EG was so successful with on the Sova, and what Fnatic just showed us on that first map as well.
Yeah, I think round 10 of this first map kind of encapsulated everything you just said, Mimi. If we take a look at this, you'll see the ulties coming in, basically won them the entire round.
Yeah, this was excellent, right? They start off with the Killjoy lockdown to get in, and then it's a stun comboed with that orbital strike to kill Laz, who ended up being detained. And then they're even trying to push further with Leo's ultimate here. And it seems like a really big investment, but this was the round to flip the economy for Zeta. And in the end, they get every kill except one with just abilities in this round. I think that's a testament to how good Fnatic is with these kind of setups.
Absolutely. Their level of utility coordination is just unmatched. I mean, just being able to clear out 4 of the 5 kills just with utility and ultimates is absolutely astounding.
What did you make of the Sova comp here, Psycho? Because again, they've never changed their comp with this roster. The first time they do it, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby. I mean, you could definitely see the inspiration that they've drawn from EG. I mean, you know the old adage, if you can't beat them, join them, and they've definitely done that here. They said, look, this was working against us. It worked against us again. Yeah. There might be something to this. Let's try this out. Let's see if we can make this our own. And, you know, like we were talking about earlier, just apply it to you and put your own little twists on it. See, you know, we have a great Sova and Leo. And let's see if we can, he's waving at me over there. We have great Sova and Leo. Let's see if we can make him and enable him on this map, on this agent.
Well, we've heard from Mini already. Let's hear what XQQ had to say ahead of map 2.
Thanks, team. I'm here, of course, with Coach Junior here for Zeta Division. Obviously, this was going to be a tough game. Fnatic are an excellent team, but you guys are also an excellent squad. So how do you get yourself back into this matchup for map 2?
現状難しい試合となっていますが、ゼータディビジョンも素晴らしいチームなので、この後の試合どのように巻き返す予定でしょうか。
はい、そうですね、初戦のフラクチャーは、相場結構予想外でやられちゃったんですけど、ヘイブンは僕らも結構できるマップなんで、頑張ります。
So in Fracture, we did not expect the Sova pick, but in Haven, we are going to get it back.
Okay, you know what? I totally understand. We'll see what happens in map 2. Always cheering for Zeta Division. Send it back to you guys.
I mean, they have to get it back on Haven if they want a chance here, but Haven for Fnatic are Mimi traditionally pretty strong.
It's always been a great map for them, but it's been a long time since we've seen it. Like you were mentioning earlier, Yinsu, we didn't watch this map from Fnatic whatsoever in their run to win Tokyo. Durka has not played Jet since the last EMEA split, and I think this is our chance to finally see him on that agent.
I think we absolutely might. I mean, you saw him on the Twitter machine last night, doing a little bit of baiting about playing the Jet. Maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't, but what we last saw from Zeta was actually the last time they played this map was in their LCQ run. They got 13-2'd by RRQ, and they actually played the Raze instead of the Jet. So I'd be interested to see, do they expect this Jet from Durka, and are they going to match up their own Jet?
What is going on stage? He's putting more water on the... Is that
honestly,
why he has 5 cups? He's like a cleaning liquid. It's Red Bull in 1 cup, water in another.
I wouldn't question it, because whatever he is doing up there is working for him, Mimi. So maybe we should all start.
I spilled a lot of water on my desk. I'm nowhere near as good as Alfie, so I don't know if it's working.
I'm wondering maybe the disc wasn't tall enough. He's just got to water it a little bit so it grows.
Oh, I like that. I like that. We're going to head into the Prime Gaming Agent Select soon. But yes, I think you guys both summed it up pretty nicely. The Jet on the side of Fnatic.
They're taking the cups away from him. He can't be trusted.
He's too strong. He's too strong otherwise. We haven't seen the jet from Durka, and on the other side, the raise on Fracture as well. 10 going 0 and 6. First kill, first death wasn't his greatest performance, but it does feel like Psycho is gonna. Things might get harder for Zeta.
They absolutely could. I mean, I heckin' love 10, but he sure was struggling to get those first bloods as the duelist here, and that's something that he's gonna absolutely need to step up for this Haven match.
The Chamber and Killjoy, here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be this double Sentinel comp for Zeta Division. I love Laz on the Chamber, but I thought Fnatic did a great job of applying so much pressure to him, not allowing him to be comfortable on the defensive Fracture. I expect that to continue again here with this double Initiator comp for Fnatic.
Yeah, and you see the bringing out Sky on the the Sky on Crow. Excuse me, a little bit of a wordful there. But yeah, we talked about earlier about how Sky is just the better solo initiator here. So they're going with the double Sentinel. They're complementing this with Sky on Crow and just trying to enable these guys to get these first picks.
Both these controller agents as well picking into the Aster. We see a lot of back and forth depending on comfort on this map, but Boaster has always favored that, and Sugar Zero, when they've made runs happen before, it's when he's been on this agent. He can be so good as a side anchor.
Oh, well, we've got the Durka Jet and Leo Sova finally on the same map here. I can't wait to jump into map 2 and hand this back to your casters, Doug and Bola.
Thank you so much, Insu. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this plays out as well, Bola, because, you know, we also saw Laz on Chamber, and while it found some success on Fracture, this is a different beast, man. You've got the Jet, you've got really good art, and you've also got the Sova for Leo that Yinsu was talking about.
Oh, that's a breach arm. I thought it was a Band-Aid next to Croc.
A Band-Aid? I think he's just getting beat up by Boaster.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is so interesting. Again, I mean, to go on the same point, Leo, Durka, back to those roles that we love so much. The thing that gets me about Fnatic is they don't need to change anything, man. They've been running the same comps on so many maps for so long, and meanwhile, everybody's trying to innovate. We've got KJ Chamber on the other side here. And a throwback to the Optic comps.
Oh, I bet they've got past it. Dude, they thought they had a trap on him. They thought they had him stuck. But it was just a bit late. And now off of that fault line, Durka's actually the one who's going to establish his presence.
Oh my goodness, how deep Boaster's gotten too. That's crazy.
And I don't know that Depp knows. They're so unaware. Yeah, they've taken care of Durka, but as you mentioned, Boaster's behind enemy lines and there's no one to check him.
Yeah, and this is going to be the problem here. You need to get stall if you're going to go for a composition like this where you have double Sentinel, where you're going for a Gravwell nade inside of A lobby with the majority of your players.
Yeah.
Laz is going to be, I mean, if Fnatic gets these hits off, he's going to be rotating in this situation so frequently.
Yeah, this won't be fun. He's going to find himself in that position a lot. You know, to go back to the conversation we were having around Fnatic and how they don't really have to change their comps. And, you know, oftentimes when you see a team at the top, especially in a game like Valorant that's as volatile as it is, you go, oh, the rest of the pack is hot to trot, right? Like they're nipping at your heels, they're catching up to you. Art, it feels like, I don't think I've ever called you that on a broadcast before, I'm so sorry. It feels like they're so far ahead that they don't really have to worry about that quite yet. It just seems like there's such a big gap that they're tweaking the small things in their game.
No, for sure. I mean, look at different teams like Loud, for example, the Harbor Viper lovers. Moving away from that, right, to try to find an edge in the meta instead. Fnatic are just improving on the comps that they play so often. I mean, this is a classic C hit we've seen from them over and over. And at this point, yeah, they can start not even showing some of the new stuff that they've been working on.
Yeah, and you know there's something there, right? You know the brain trust of Mini and Boaster and everyone else on that staff. Anders, too, just recently joined staff again for this run. You know they have stuff prepped, but if you don't have to show it, that's the most ideal of situations.
Here.
Seems like another round that's easily going to go in favor of Fnatic here. So you got 3 members from Zeta who are posted up in Garage, going to try to pop out, try to find some space. Crow does have a flash. Maybe you pop out through that or just die to the spike. It seems like that's what their goal is here.
Leo's just using his gun as a molly there through that smoke. They can't get through Garage at all. Remember on Fracture, Zeta did a pretty decent job on one of the anti-ecos, not the one where Boaster almost aced.
The other one.
Yeah. And here, Fnatic survive with 4 of their players alive. That usually isn't even a big deal, but that's where the snowball starts. That's where you get the same start you got on Fracture. What was it, like 6-0?
6-0, yeah.
Before Zeta got their first round?
Yeah, it starts in situations like this. Take a look at the buy for Fnatic. 3 rifles, 4 with the Bulldog, and then Boaster's Marshall. Oh, man. Never mind.
Yeah, actually always does that. Takes the cheap Marshall on the anti-eco. It's such a good weapon there, and then goes for a little bit of an upgrade, usually a Bulldog, something like that. But they shuffled a little bit there.
Yeah. They gave the Bulldog to Boaster and left the rifle in the hands of Leo.
Yeah. Just leader things. Ooh, the smoke miss. Durka's normally supposed to be dashing up into that. I'm wondering if it's a miss or intentional. But that's the classic Durka pop. Yeah. They're going to tap the plant and re-rotate through Garage. This is real old stuff here from Fnatic.
Depp is in so much trouble, man.
Yeah, he's got everybody on both sides right now.
And nobody around him. Well, he's done well to get the first. Aftershocks can clear him out. He somehow gets a second as Boaster's timing.
Yeah, slow there.
Yeah, just a bit.
And that leaves him in a 3v4.
3v3 now. The potential of a bonus.
I mean, when did Boaster had the Ferrari peak to his arsenal? Come on, man.
We're talking about them getting better, right? Little things like that. Durka smoked off. Tucked behind the Astra smoke. Boaster falls. Leo falls too. It's going to be Durka in a 1v3 if he wants to win this round. And he's not going to pull it off. Laz is on the swing. Zeta on the board, and notably earlier than they were on Fracture.
Absolutely. Quickly in the anti-bonus. And they succeeded at that on that second half of Fracture, but they did lose quite a bit here. Again, Fnatic's going to easily be able to buy up. And here's where, you know, the trouble started for Fnatic. The Aftershock is being used when Boaster's basically about to get there. I wonder if that actually slowed him down, but either way, not quite the round how Fnatic drew it up. And remember, that started from 2 different instances of Fnatic showing somewhere. They started with that B-pop and then going into Garage. Right after tapping the spike and getting out util from Zeta. Very well handled. Oh, both stunned up. That dart, oh, almost got a ping off. That would have just killed them both.
Durka did get past some of that early utility that was dumped into main.
Here. Now look at this TP as well from Laz. Starting to see some of the tech come out.
Yeah.
And Boaster recalls the star, and that gives Laz the room to get out of there.
Oh, I think he saw it. I think he saw him, maybe on the second or third glance back, but the recalled star to suggest that Durka's passed, but they left him here.
Again, allows Laz to reposition, though. That information that he was long is long gone. And Fnatic getting out of here. Durka with the lurk. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. 50 seconds still for Fnatic to make a play. Is Durka going to be the guy, or is it somewhere else on the map right now?
They just removed the trip.
That was from up close, right?
Yeah.
Down sewers. A potential fake going on right now. Durka might try to catch Laz. They're putting stars on C.
Look
the drone as well, the stun coming through from Chronicle.
30 seconds left.
It's not pulling everybody, though.
No, but it did have them get off of their initial positions. 10 might be the only one who didn't move, and my goodness, he's got a judge on the other side of this box.
Laz came backside too, so this hold is still good from Zeta.
Hey, the judge might stop it by itself. Just one. 13 seconds left, the spike making its way, and you're right, Laz has not moved.
Oh, the flash team
He's
flash.
Still playing on side. Spike down just in the nick of time.
If he got that kill, it would have ended the round. And now instead, they have post-plant positions to play from.
You wonder here if that flash had gone a different way, what position we'd be in, but Fnatic with the advantage. Time on their side.
Gonna get the Aftershock off, yes.
Yeah, the Aftershock's gonna pull him off, but he did get halfway there. Chronicle has fallen. 3v2 in favor of Zeta. Alfir and Leo still up, still trying to make something happen, but it's Laz who cleans it up. Zeta tie us at 2.
And this is the first round all series that I really think Zeta had a good read on the situation the entire time. That's twice now, I would say, actually. Handling that B fake into the C hit last round, and now this C fake in this A hit.
Wow.
Fnatic throwing it all at them. And despite some mistakes there from Zeta, I mean, it would have been round over if that team flash didn't come through from heaven on the Laz.
Yep.
He still makes it work, though. And nobody from Fnatic following up because there's just not that many bodies in that A hit since everybody else is on the rest of the map. And the first eco for Fnatic. All series long.
It's crazy to say.
And it's still kind of strong, too. There's weapons here. There's a Vandal for Leo.
Yeah, there's fight behind this one. Showstopper from 10. Durka tries to get up top. No way!
Are you kidding me?
How does he dodge that? I mean, 10 still got his.
That thing must have gone through the door, not done any damage to him at all. And it's crazy that nobody else died there. You thought for sure full attention was on Durka. Instead, now we're in such a weird situation. At least 10 was able to get Boaster with the nade as he fell to his Sheriff. And Fnatic without their leader right now. Gonna just post up and hit this A side anyways. No smokes.
The game's easier this way to call from, right? When you're dead, just watching.
The Angel method doesn't apply to everybody here.
We'll see if that's the case in this round. Crow spamming through the smokes. Durka's about to pop out on the other side. Finds one with the Guardian, but Depp is there on the counter.
I mean, that's space for this plant to go down. That's space for the Rolling Thunder, but they've got the lockdown to fall into. And there's no more tools here to break that, so. Oh, and they're falling into Laz. Oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah, they've got to go all the way out. I mean, there's a little bit of an angle.
And the Gravo coming in too. Leo's in trouble.
Oh, well, I didn't know if he'd expect the second, but the bait of the Sheriff thrown in his lap is going to give it away. Meanwhile, Sugar Zero tried getting it to half, wasn't able to stick through. Leo's dropped. It's all into Alpha, and he was stuck the entire time.
Do have to say, though, despite the fact that Zeta win this round, they had to spend some key ults there that would have been crucial against Fnatic's guns. Either way, though, I think Fnatic had a massive chance there, so Zeta in damage control is okay. Yeah, it did go through that door.
That's just crazy.
But everything else working out for them. I mean, that lockdown comes in at the perfect time, and it pushes them right into Laz's flank. Who expects the flanking chamber with the tour de force?
The classic.
Big stack of ults here, though, from Fnatic. And they're going for the C hit instantly. Look at this. All grouped up, ready to go.
Last spotting up. Got the money for it, but Fnatic are headed all towards C. You're right. Durka's on the dash out. Blades online, and he's instantly dropped. I mean, Depp just peeked out from behind that smoke with nothing behind it.
It's crazy to me that they're executing there without a stun from Chronicle. He's able to use it after he's out. Cosmic Divide's going to allow them to get off site.
Oh. On that Rolling Thunder. Surprised they invested it as early as they did, but push Zeta back, push them behind that Cosmic Divide once more.
The Sugar Zero, he just got a smoke back so they could smoke off the spike here. This is still going to be really dangerous for Fnatic. They all fell off except for Alfear.
You've got Leo with the Hunter's Fury. You've got Boaster who just put a star on the spike too.
They're going to let him get to half here?
No, just barely.
Just got pulled.
A dart. Leo with the Hunter's Fury, as we mentioned, he had a shock to it. Alfear was on the pinch. He gets two. He gets the third. Leo gets the last, and that's a round for Fnatic.
And look at the Sentinel utility right now. You see the alarm bot in Garage. There's a trip in Garage, and there's a turret in B. Alfear is able to dodge it all as the KJ is the first pick. Depp fell instantly in this situation. And that allows Alfear to go up through Garage, avoid the turret that's not active, and find the one place where he can sneak his way through. That's ridiculous. It's the first time I'm really coming to terms with the fact that Depp right now has been the guy who's been playing Jet for Zeta throughout Pacific, throughout LCQ as well. And he's not unfamiliar with the KJ role, but such a shift from Zeta since LCQ.
What do they have here? See Zeta with this light buy, a Bulldog and a Stinger. 10 trying to hold him back with the Sheriff as Durka, slips the net. It seems like they're going to want to regress. Meanwhile, Zeta are taking the space that's been afforded to them, that's been allowed to them mid.
And Alfear, watching here. Key timing there. He just pulled away his turret right as they walk down. So you could put it. Is he really going to invest lockdown here?
He's considering it. You see the dart, you see the flash intended to conceal the info gathering tool that's there. The alarm bot gives him away.
Oh,
they're going to turn and they're going to fight. But Leo's the first to fall. I mean, they have bit off perhaps a bit too much here. But they continue to trample forward. Durka caught looking the wrong way, creating so much space for Zeta to take. But they're resetting. They're taking a step back.
All coming in from spawn now. And that's uncertainty, although Alfir did get that turret up, so they kind of know what's going on in this situation.
I like this from Zeta, though. They took a step back to allow Crow to heal him all the way back up and take the fight once more. But is that going to be enough? Tep has already fallen. Oh my gosh, it's not. Ten's going to have to 1v3 this to win the round. And with 20 HP, I just don't know how he does.
So well done from Boaster.
I mean, look at those smokes, man. Paving his way out and paving his way right back in. You see him creeping on the other side of his smoke. Ten's on the tap. He was wise to it, but it's not gotten to half yet. He still has so much he needs to do. It's just a bait. It's just a fake. It's going to buy some time. No idea where Alfir was and the round for Fnatic.
And that's tough to read there. As the final player, when you see Boaster put both smokes down and continue to play in them, you can tell he's, if you're the last player from Zeta there, you're not really quite sure how the rest of the players are playing. You think he's coming from long, given how Boaster's scared to leave short in that instance. It's crazy to me. He's just fighting right now. Gets that double tap right here on the Crow and Laz. It's ridiculous. And the thing is, he has 2 stars there. Nothing is smoked. He's happy to take those engagements against the light buy of Zeta.
The spacing from Zeta there wasn't great either.
That's what happens when you're calling audibles to retake after going for, what was it, a quadruple flank in the mid round.
Yeah.
Split coming in here, avoiding the op of Laz as well.
And there's really no one here, at least instantly. Durka gets pinned through the wall, but there's no one playing on site. Zeta are ready to pounce, so they've already rotated. Everyone with the exception of Laz. But they're not going to flood.
Yeah, Alfie are active there. They can't flood given that there was so much pressure on this space right here that they're using that Trailblazer back in through. This is a spam game and Alfie's just winning everything.
He's just that good.
Revealing area.
They're going to try to pop through this. But they have to deal with the dart first. Cleared out. Alfir once again on the flank. Timing of it's going to be everything, but the truth is, I don't know that Zeta are going to be able to really find enough space to get out onto the site for the flank to even matter. And even if they do, they're pushing right into the teeth of Fnatic, into everything they have set up. Yeah, Laz gets one is a complimentary gift, I guess.
He's behind him.
Laz is ready for it. Oh, he was so close. Does he push? Does he dare swing out? Yes, he does. Off of the flash from Chronicle. The op is down.
That flash is through B into their spawn. It's just ridiculous from Chronicle and Alpha Air. That synergy is insane. This is crazy because Alpha Air twice there. He's trying to spam through Garage at that first point. One of the kills actually went for Sugar Zero on that engagement. I think it was actually favored for the Zeta players. But then he's hidden behind the box. They know where he is, and he still gets the kill.
Yeah.
What can you do? It's the Tokyo form from Alfir where it's like, now this guy, he just runs through smokes and kills 2 as Cypher. Yeah, okay. Let him have it.
I don't remember exactly what his final. He's already looking to replicate that.
Yep.
As Zeta call a timeout. The Sentinel for Fnatic, 10-3. On the attacking side of Haven, no less. I mean, you expect him to have big numbers performance on the defensive side, given his kit, given his role, but he's just fragging.
Yeah, I think you said it was a quiet, like 20-20 bomb or something like that on Fracture at some point during that game. This one doesn't feel like that anymore.
No, no, not at all.
Clear, memorable moments, and I think they've actually needed it here because Zeta's putting up a much better fight than on Fracture. I think we're still thinking about that narrative that the desk was talking about where 10 didn't get any of those initial first kills on Fracture. 0-6 on that one as the Neon.
It's a brutal stat line.
He's definitely much better on the Rays. His form at LCQ was crazy. He was so good individually. It's just the decision-making lacking for him. We'll see if he can step it up.
This is just a headhunter. What?
I'm curious how Durka did that jump because he was super high and he still got taken out. I think he jumped off the little hay bale.
It looked like it hit him in the shoulder.
Just chamber things.
Yeah, I guess. I was concerned too. I mean, Laz was by himself and yeah, he had the TP to get out, but yeah, I guess that's exactly what he needed. That was all he really had in that instance. Meanwhile, for Fnatic, you see how they're posted up right now.
Just beautiful from Alfier. It doesn't actually take it down, though, because it's on top of the box.
Yeah, but I was wondering, too, they were expecting aggression from Long, and that's where you see Alfier getting a little bit of it, but it was actually Chronicle who was waiting for that, waiting for Laz to take that space, and it never came.
I mean, when you get so much ability to peek both sides of B like that for free, you're easily picking off rotates. I'm surprised Sugar Zero's not placing down stars there. But he has so many already pre-placed, so you can't really dynamically help. There's the grab wall, though.
Remember, Zeta on this light buy here, and you've got them already beginning to crumble. Sugar Zero's the only one on the other side of double door, but they've already lost C.
This smoke, are they going to check it? It's so sus.
Oh, no. You're absolutely right, it was. But now it's up, now they know. And this may be pulled off. Sugar Zero and Def are the only ones up, and they are. They're going to pull it off with a light buy. With less than ideal weaponry, a MasterCard Thrifty to come through for Zeta.
I mean, just genius from Sugar Zero. That's the type of thing that we know and love from this guy on the international stage. So often you see plays like that. I mean, I call this sus because I knew what's going on, but that's actually just a, wow.
What?
This is a pretty normal smoke on Garage,
Dude,
actually.
You know what's crazy, too, is they spammed it. They checked him.
Yeah. Just unlucky.
That's just so frustrating as a player.
And they've kept this game very close. We're into the next round already. Nade, Gravwell going through a lobby.
No one there.
And we're going fast for that Durka pop on B. It's a classic for Fnatic. But they've never actually gotten the plant down on B. And
no.
It looks like for once it actually would have worked out.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yep. You mentioned it. He's in form. Man, is he in form. Those Seekers are going to be pulling in right behind them, but Fnatic should have a lot of room to work on C.
And they took a lot of time to clear Durka there, but still quickly doing it before the spike goes down. So, Razel to clear, actually, to try to find Durka. Instead,
wait,
they're falling off site.
Yeah, there are still two on site. But it was blind. They had no idea. I don't know that you're expecting both of them up here on the other side of the Cosmic Divide where you are, where you're posted up, but 10 was. He was ready. It's all down to Alfier and Leo, and they're investing everything into this. On the other side of the wall, Alfier clothesline, Leo dropped as well. Depp with 3, and Zeta are going to tie us up.
What an interesting decision, but I mean, crazy mind games going on there with the ults. I mean, Fnatic already expecting it. That's why they have 2 players on site still. That's why Chronicle and Boaster are posted up backside, knowing they can't play full retake from Long, or post plant from Long. And it hurts them, though, because the Razel comes through, and then you really don't have the tools if you lose those fights backside. Right. I mean, it's kind of all in there. So Alfier comes up with a pretty creative way to try to challenge, but not quite enough. Also, credit to Leo as well. And Zeta to actually be on top of Leo, swinging through that wall so fast and proactively. We're all tied up still here.
Certainly not what I was expecting to say given the situation, but Sugar Zero once again playing in the smokes, and this time Leo's not missing that spam.
I mean, he's so good. They got the lockdown out with 1:30 on the clock.
I mean, so far ahead of schedule. Such a reactive pull of the trigger from Zeta.
I mean, they definitely didn't want that spike to go down. They didn't want to retake. They didn't have the tools for it, I guess, in this instance. They've been relying a lot on some ults when they actually win those C retakes. But not all the time. And the Durka Pop still looks active. Look at this Molly, actually, to counteract it. He doesn't have the dash or updraft, as he already went for that C execute, so not actually going to be used, but can't deny the plant still.
Cool idea, nonetheless. Fault line to clears for Durka to fight, take some space. The teleport cleared out.
That's interesting. That teleport should tell you exactly what Laz is doing, so Alfier should be ready for this peak.
Expecting some aggression from C-Link. Meanwhile, Depp is going to try to take some space through double doors, and look at Alpha. In such a good spot. In a position to spoil. While 10 creeps forward, and there it is. There's the spoiler play. They're going to invest Rolling Thunder, and it doesn't seem like they're going to push behind it because they don't really have to.
Yeah. I mean, Boaster was up close with the judge. They spent so much time to, you know, cautiously take him out, but it didn't really even matter if he went down because Chronicle was holding that breach ult the entire time.
Yeah.
On any of the swings that happened. If they swung on Alfier, if they swung on Boaster up close, Both were going to get breach ulted.
I think they're trying to hunt and get this weapon out of the hands of Zeta. Laz still has the op. It's actually Crow that's going to be found, so Laz will be safe. That's going to get carried over.
Last round before the
I don't
switch.
think you can really drop there. Yeah, 2.7K. So taking one weapon out there at the end. It's not the op, sure, but
that's
going
meaningful.
this last round, yeah, you're going to have like a judge investment here out of 10. It's been a close game. A very close map. I think we're still getting whiplash from the fact that Fracture was so dominant from Fnatic.
There's going to be an early peak, and I wonder if Alpha is going to challenge on this.
He's been very fast up mid, so I wouldn't be surprised, but it's so often you see this turret just put down. And after that shot, it's crazy to see him swing wide.
Look at that defensive setup. All that Killjoy utility for Zeta towards A. And I actually wondered who was going to try to be farming these orbs, and it was Fnatic who got the Hunter's Fury online. Op still in the hands of Laz. And there's just no challenge that way. So you wonder here for Fnatic, it feels like it's all about timing. If they can get Chronicle's Fault Line back up and Leo's Dart back up, combining it with his ult.
The crazy thing is, they're Crow. I mean, this
was
util here on A is crazy. That flash, Fnatic were hiding from all of it. 10 stun.
Dude, I thought they didn't check it, but man, there it is. Now the Hunter's Fury out. You see an assist for both.
That's all that KJ util down.
I mean, it's all gone. It's still littering the site, but it's completely ineffective. Sugar Zero ahead of it, trying to make a play, and he does on a Chronicle. The spike sitting on the ground now as Leo tries to fill behind it. Zeta trying to keep Fnatic back, and so far, so good. But Alphair again.
Leo got the spike too. He's out of there.
The question is, how far up does Alphair go? He's picked up the op, and they're going to go C? Alphair still has 2 nanos.
This is pretty awesome here, though. He's on that long angle. And now.
No way.
That dog should have heard him fall back there, but look at the flank as well coming in. Leo does get a spawn plant. It's not the best spawn plant, but it is definitely one. Alphair can peek that from that little corner.
Leo's Dart just came up. Patience here. There is a member playing down long at Sugar Zero, and you're right, there it is, the op, the peek out. Oof, that flick just a bit short.
Oh, the 2 mollies you were mentioning too coming into effect right now.
He still has a dart. He's still holding it. He knows where one is, but no real idea of where the other is now. Position given away. Oh gosh, Crow can pull this off. 2 bullets, though. Is it going to be enough? Leo repositioning, playing up in plat. Time is short. He's gotten it down to 1. He's going to push forward with the shorty. Leo lands the shots. 7 for Fnatic in the Red Bull clutch.
It's perfectly played from the 2 of them. As we head into halftime, this is just crazy from Alphair and Leo. What a 1v2. And the timing there, Sugar Zero's desperately trying to get onto half as he jumps through with that shorty.
I mean, just needed to. That was, you're right, Hail Mary type beat in a position like that. And you can see Leo's expression, or well, the lack thereof, in a close moment like that, pulling that off. That gets Fnatic to a 7-5 lead, and we've got a little special something standing by. That's Golden Boy, who's actually going to pick the brains of a fan in the crowd. Golden Boy, take it away.
Thank you so much, fellas. I want everyone in the arena to give me a minute here and give a round of applause for Widget coming all the way from Japan over here in California to support his favorite team, Zeta Division, who are looking pretty decent right now. So, firstly, how far was that trip for you from Nagaoka, Japan, to here?
まず長岡からの、ここまでのとこどのぐらい時間かかりましたか？
待機時間含めて20時間ぐらい。
So including the layovers, it's about 20 hours.
20 hours to watch. I mean, whew. Okay, I respect that, brother. In any case, though, it was your dream to come here to Champions, to watch the games, to be amongst this crowd here in LA. Yeah, give it up one more. One more again. Why did you want to come so bad? What was the reasoning for you coming here besides watching some great Valorant?
チャンピオンズ、この夢の舞台にここまで長岡から長距離渡航してきた理由を教えてもらえますか？
マスターズ東京でライオットのスタッフの方と出会って、でそこからそのお礼をしたいと思って LA に来て、ライオットのインターナショナルスタッフに直接お礼しに来ました。
So I was fortunate enough to meet a Riot staff when I was attending Masters Tokyo, and I wanted to come here to show my appreciation to the Riot staff. That's why I'm here.
Oh, that is okay. We did an awe, a cursory awe. All right, well, that's awesome. And of course, any words for the folks watching back at home in Japan, but also for the Zeta guys as they get ready for this next half?
最後に、日本で応援しているファンの皆様と、この次のゼータディビジョンの、チームに向けて何かメッセージあればお願いします。
このまま頑張って、日本の皆さん、朝早くから皆さん一緒に頑張っていきましょう。ゼータファイティング
That's it, baby. Let's send it back over.
Zeta fighting indeed. They find themselves down 2 rounds, but now the attacking side on Haven, which should be a bit more favored. Ball, we'll see what Zeta can do here as they're all bunched up towards A currently.
It's going to be tough as you already see this aggression from Fnatic go down mid. Yes, bunched up by A, and the timing from Sugar Zeros, he just barely misses.
Unreal.
And with all that said, none of the Sentinel util is up until Sewers. So right now, Boasters might have a clean peek on the Crow, who's going to be the last player in. He has the spike, guys.
Meanwhile, Fnatic have everything. If they get suspicion of where they are, Chronicle can drop a fault line, and this could be disaster.
And I wonder as well, okay, they broke that trip immediately.
So now they know. Oh, maybe it was cleared. They just dropped another. You see this double Sentinel comp on the attacking side and all the layers that it has, the varying degrees of protection that it can offer.
They're going to have to flip into spawn here. Alfear's going to be able to hold on to that. And Durka falls, actually.
And he's going to have to. Oof. Depth traded, now down. Alpha still so healthy from up in heaven. And, I mean, they're not even really going to give him a chance to take the fight. Laz choosing not to pull the trigger, unaware. But he does with the frenzy. Now the headhunter still up in play. He's going to have to get 3, and he cannot. It's Leo who does. Boaster on the defuse, and Fnatic with 8.
And that's all 4 pistols so far for Fnatic as well. They put such an emphasis into these. And this one doesn't even feel that special.
No.
I mean, special in terms of Leo's ability to frag as always, but my goodness, they just walk down short and cause chaos for Zeta. I think one of the key things there is recognizing this comp cannot really take extra space once they go for those executes. I mean, you're playing people who are trying to be entrenched in Depp and Laz, and also, you know, playing with the combination of the Astra and the Raze. You want those players to be tucked still, holding positions, playing trap plays, those sorts of things. So once you get the option to flip, you can't really go for it. Forced up here, though, from Zeta.
In a considerable way, too. See the buy. They've invested everything. They did also flash down A to make sure there's no one coming through and then turn their sights all towards B. You see the gravity well, the nano. And it's actually just 10 who's gotten past. He's got a judge. He's trying to get up close on Durka, and he does.
Oh, this stun's going to punish him, though, but gets out with his satchel. Clean movement.
They should know now that there is a little bit more bite on the other side of this, but Leo's Vandal and Chronicle, too. I mean, you thought you forced into it, and that would be enough, but in the face of these rifles, can you make it work? It's all on to Crow. He does have a little bit of a stinger. Woo, almost hit the transfer, almost gets a second. Still wouldn't have been enough.
And just like Fracture, a little bit more damage done on that second.
Yeah.
Eco round attempt, but this time it was a full force, right? They still get that spike down so they can go for the same sort of punch. We'll see what they choose to do, because at this point they need to get back in this before Fnatic start converting rounds like this. And the one coming up, which they're actually having to reinvest a lot. I'm quite certain here the bonus will be canceled now.
Yeah.
But it is an anti-eco kind of, so yeah, it is full. Not even a Stinger bot, just Sheriff's light armor for Zeta. Plus, Leo has his ult at this point because the 2 3Ks that he got.
I mean, Durka's so fast on this. Chronicle didn't even fault line to get him in that position. He just took the space quickly. So he saves that early bit of utility. Meanwhile, Alfear gets dropped.
Oh.
All right, the frenzies are working. Gonna be able to flip in towards C. Leo's the only one who's close by currently. He's got the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, he has to clear Garage before he's comfortable to do it. And now Crow actually popped his Seekers, so holy shocks. 10!
Oh!
Aftershock as well to deny the plant. Crow might go down to it. No, I think it missed, actually.
Either way, Spike goes down. Leo still with that ult. look at how far Zeta are playing back. You've got Depp who's waiting outside double door, Sugar Zero who's playing even further back with the alarm bot to make sure there's no flank coming in through B.
Yeah, but note, it isn't planted for long, so deep positions won't be the greatest here. It's planted default, very safe.
Oh my gosh, what a shot. Leo joining in on the action as well, and it all falls down to one Sheriff with how promising it looked.
Jesus. Leo is constantly bailing them out, man. I mean, specifically this Haven is not the most perfect game from Fnatic, but I was talking a lot about the strategic difference between them and other teams. And this game, it comes down a lot to that individual level. Leo, 19-6. Durka, meanwhile, 6-13. Adds a little contribution to this round, but it's all Leo this half.
Poor guy's probably never going to play Jet again. Given all the talks we've had about it.
Yeah, he's a raise one trick now.
Late timeout called from Zeta Division. They're down 5 rounds here. And much like you were saying, Balla, they look a little bit better, right? They're putting up more of a fight than they did on Fracture, but it's been far from nice, to be honest.
I mean, scoreline might end up being the same at the end of it.
Yeah.
And this early in the half, I really can't even point to much for Zeta to adjust.
No.
On this attacking side, I thought that this comp was always going to be a little bit of a struggle on this half. It's not something that we had much time to really dive into, but with the double Sentinel, it's always going to be tough. I think one thing that we saw when teams have run similar comps in the past is you could have a lot of really spread defaults where you could focus attention through one lane of the map with much, much more presence. The map control comes a lot easier. But that's not even working right now for Zeta, because Fnatic multiple times now, they've run down mid, they've run down A lobby, and they're not able to punish the players who are doing some things like that. So we'll have to see where the rest of this comes into. First big gun round here for Zeta.
Yeah, and I mean, to say big is probably selling it a bit short. Laz has an op. Durka's already so far up, and again, the fault line has not been invested. It's off of the recalled star that he finds just a little bit of space, but it seems like Laz.
Try ult from Leo.
He doesn't know.
Oh, the spam,
what?
How did he get traded back? Nothing found. Only one tag to Laz, and Crow's going to heal him right back up. That is such a good read from Zeta there. I wonder if Durka showed his gun, but he's struggling this game.
And I think there are 2 things here to talk about. Yes, Durka got dropped, but I think also the Hunter's Fury invested. If it was maybe just one, it doesn't feel as bad. But an excellent read by Zeta.
This is still a lot of work being done here from Boaster on this deep push down long C.
He's patient, but how patient will he be? Depp's waiting on the other side. Less patient, but what a flick. Snappy out from the Sentinel.
And this is why Depp was the guy who a lot of people were putting the onus on for Zeta to do well in this tournament.
Oh, Alfear's really far ahead of everything here. He used the timing from the Nano to take some space. Ooh. And he tried getting a second, but only one was found.
A great satchel from 10, though.
Chronicle and Leo, the two initiators, excuse me. One found, the second trying to snap on it, not doing so. That aftershock's not going to feel good, but the timing from Laz on the swing is great.
Not much found from Fnatic there on that early aggression, and Zeta does such a great job to handle everything. I think that flick from Depp is just so crucial.
What?
It was last spotted something.
Yeah,
and they called it out.
I saw a ping on the minimap, you're right.
And as well, when you see that recall, everything like that, that's definitely a read that can be made. That's somewhere where you can frequently spam and find in ranked lurking Reynas in most cases, but here's Durka trying to be cheeky. But he's got the op online now able to take a fight against Laz. He's going aggressive still.
Well, it's all set up off of Leo. Well timed. I thought he was going to get caught with his pants down, but no.
And both Astra's recalling stars there for everybody to fall off on. In those moments, you know there's been a killing field that must be evacuated.
We're going to get a little op battle, are we? Durka's weak. The flash to give Laz the angle. Does he dare re-peek?
Surely not.
He's considering it, but he takes a safer angle here.
Channel Kong here?
Yeah, just swing out.
Another star onto him. It's interesting because you would expect Laz to want to be taking these fights.
I mean, he's posted up for it. That Trailblazers, I don't know if that's going to reach far enough.
Oh, you missed it.
Never mind, it certainly does.
Those things go far, man.
Yeah,
way
they do,
farther
bro.
than you expect. Another recall from Sugar Zero. He has 2 stars ready for this execute. But that means there's not a grab wall, there's no stun, which are necessary to deal with both Durka and Leo on this site. With Chronicle as well coming in, he has fault line, everything. There's no go here. 25 seconds, they've got to commit.
Well, this is comfort zone for Zeta, though. They like to burn the clock down. What? What? We're going to have to take a look at that one more time.
Yeah, but look at this. No, there's still no time here.
Yeah, the spike is still not out. Leo's able to provide a little bit of cover and buy some time, but they're going to crumble. Can Alphayear do this on his own? He's gotten the first. He's got to stop the plant! But Alphayear with a massive Red Bull clutch for Fnatic. Alphayear does it again.
Through the window. Down onto site. And he does it sideways. This is just crazy. And Crow had to commit to that plant.
Yeah, he had no choice.
I mean, he could have got off and got the final kill, but...
That's so risky.
The duality of Mini there.
Yeah.
You want to
no
play?
Kidding.
Let's play.
Mini's a coach who just, you could tell over and over, demands perfection from his team. So despite winning around, you're going to get frustrated when things aren't going their way. That one definitely looked lost, and then you have heroics that he can't help but celebrate too.
No, it is that coaching philosophy that leads to dynasties, though. And Fnatic are looking to get past Zeta to continue to cement theirs. Shot from Dirk. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's going to get away with the second.
How is he staying here?
He peeks a third time.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
Look at Durka laughing on the camera. They were playing whack-a-mole.
Laz has the much better angle there. But Durka is just sitting in that when he really can't even see the head of Laz, and now he repositions the jump spots to get Laz on the angle. But 10 doesn't do it wide enough, so.
I don't remember how many shots Laz has left. What, 2?
2, yeah.
We were robbed of this duel initially, but we're going to get it this time, and Durka wins it out.
30 seconds left.
Those two. Now that we've had head-to-head battles between them, it's just perfect from Boaster.
Just so well played, so well timed.
There's
look
a
at
dart,
that, dude.
there's
Yeah.
a stun.
Everything.
There's a peek.
You see that double initiator comp just being so good. Because what do you do in situations like that?
Yeah.
It just feels like you're being bullied.
It's not something that everybody can do, though. I mean, it's double
that's
initiator,
true.
sure, but it's Chronicle and Leo as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
Leo might be the best initiator util player in the world. I mean, I would say easily.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
And Chronicle might be second best in the world. It's moments like that that you appreciate. And other teams are really starting to, you know, get up there with that sort of combination. But here it is. Match point now for Fnatic in their opening game.
5 of the last 6 for the Masters champions. Another duel, another win for Durka as he gets a second. Look how 10 was trying to take off and satchel his way forward, but he never had a chance.
You can hear that satchel ticking away.
Yeah.
Are you guys cheering for an ace? There's only been 2 kills.
I respect it, though. I respect it.
That's me in my rank games for real.
That lockdown going to buy a little bit of time, but it really didn't push Fnatic back very much at all. He's got the blades.
Here
this might be where he goes for it. He's going to get some high ground.
He's waiting for the util here from Leo.
And Chronicle.
Here.
What is it? Cosmic Divide going to push them back. He tries to get up high. Is there anyone who dares show ahead? Durka with 3. Now you chant. Now you ask for it. Durka looking for it all. He's going to have to push past the Cosmic Divide. The 4th and the 5th. The faithful shall be rewarded. Fnatic take down Zeta.
What a It's Durkin time. Look at him go. Just a ridiculous showing from Fnatic that entire way through. And at the end of the day, it does look like domination.
Yep.
And that's what you expect coming into this series, no matter what Zeta looks like. No matter what, whether they look like LCQ form, whether they look like Reykjavik form, the best Zeta's ever played, you still expect that on that stage.
Yeah. Really a testament to, again, the strength of Fnatic and the expectations that the field has put on them, that they've put on themselves.
Yeah, they're going to continue to balloon here in this group, especially after you've just seen on the opposite side of their group, NRG get taken down early in that one. What a match.
What a dominant performance, man. Just complete.
Did my dad just floss on stage? Come on, dude. You can't be doing that.
It's rare that we see such a complete performance like that on the international stage. You know, maybe you see teams beat up like that domestically or regionally, so to speak, where the competition might not be the same, but
stakes aren't as high.
Yeah, sure, but on the biggest stage that Valorant has to offer, for Fnatic to look as good as they do, and again, opening match. I mean, they haven't had the time to warm up, to fine-tune things. Fnatic look good.
Absolutely. That was such a fun match. And there's so many things to highlight on the Fracture, on that Haven.
Yeah.
Just wonderful. I can't wait to watch them even more because this tournament is starting to heat up, man.
And the nice thing is it's actually the desk who's going to break down some of those things that you were just alluding to. So what do you guys think? Was that the best Fnatic we've seen yet or what?
Oh, what a question, Doug and Bala. What do you guys think after that 2-0?
Not the best, but still pretty good. It's a Fnatic in form to make another run.
That's right, and I said at the beginning, they have to set the tone here. If they want to win this championship, they need to come out and show the strength from the beginning, and that's exactly what they did. They made a statement today and said, this is our tournament, this is our year, we're going to close it out.
And they showed us new stuff. They implemented a map we haven't seen for quite a while. It looked pretty solid on it, and they showed us a new composition on Fracture as well. It's clear that this is a Fnatic that is going to continue to evolve, going to continue to show us new stuff to make another run happen.
I mean, new stuff, but the same alpha yet, apparently, because if we take a look at the Verizon high-speed moment, this was absolutely insanity, Psycho, this clutch. He gets all three.
What an absolute bonkers confidence play from him to just know the timing. He jumps out, he gets the first cut, he gets the second, he saves the planter for last. He knows he can't get his gun out in time to actually take the fight on him, and he just gets the flick immediately through the wall. I absolutely love this from Alphair. You know, that it's plays like this that remind us of Alphair from last year, but there's so many also plays from him this series that were just expressing the discipline and the structure that has been provided to him from the coaching staff and from Boser. It's just an incredible performance.
Fnatic seem to just have a monopoly on talent. Every single one of these players steps up, has moments like that one. No matter what role they're playing, there's always at least one moment in every match where you're like, damn, this guy is the best in role. And it happens every game. I feel like when you're watching Fnatic, they are such a true super team. And I don't even think that was the best form we will see them in this tournament.
I mean, they're just starting to get heated up. And speaking of that, man of the hour here, Durka, he is standing by with Golden Boy for the Verizon post-match interview.
And I'm joined here by the man of the moment. Give it up one more time for Durka. That's to feel pretty cool, right? Yeah.
That's really good.
Amazing stuff. Look, you guys have come into this tournament, obviously, you know, with just a lot of confidence, right? You see it in the gameplay. You see it when you do all your interviews. You can tell that you guys are coming into this with so much confidence. And I guess what I want to know is what separates Fnatic from the rest of the field here at Champions? Because it feels like you guys are just on another level right now.
I think we're very humble. We don't take our past events in the account. We work really hard. We criticize each other a lot and give good feedback too. But
are those things that happen all the time between you guys? Yeah.
And I also like how we don't underestimate anyone. We prepare really hard for everyone, and it's really good because that actually gives you confidence, and then everyone's doing a great job and everyone's hyping each other.
Yeah, and you could see it up there, right? Like everyone's cheering, like everyone's rooting each other on, right? And well, I think as far as like the matches go, well, coming up next, you have a very surprising one, because I'm sure you look at the bracket, you're like, oh, we'll probably end up playing NRG, but no, instead you're playing against China's Bilibili Gaming, which shocked us all here just a little while ago. Yeah, give it up for Bilibili. Those guys were incredible, seriously. And that matchup's going to be great, so I'm all about it. That being said, though, obviously an unexpected result. What is it about that team? I don't know if you had a chance to look at the match. Are you excited for that one?
Yeah, I'm really excited. When we saw the groups and the matchups, we already said like we could play both, like Energy or Bilibili.
Oh, so you guys felt like that from the get-go?
I mean, we didn't say like, oh, they're gonna win. We said there is possibility to win, because these champions, everyone's like hyped, everyone to play good, and this is where like underdogs can actually like do a lot of damage to top teams. So we don't underestimate anyone. We're excited to play Bilibili. I think all of us want to play like different teams than the ones from the past, but yeah, we're excited.
That's awesome. Now, last thing I'm going to ask you, man. You ended that game in the only way that Durka knows how. You just tell us how exhilarating it is to be up there, hear this crowd cheering ace, 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 going nuts. I mean, come on. How's this experience, bro?
I mean, yeah, the crowd was insane. After every kill, they're cheering, and I'm like, do I go for more? Do I do this? It's kind of unique. But the days I was really a bit enraged from the first half, or what was happening to me, like killing through the smokes or through the walls, and I was like, I need to do something on CT, and especially with the op, it was like really great.
Yeah.
Thank you, crowd.
Yeah, no, you guys definitely, he gave him the energy.